Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue and I am back for another 90-day fiance. So, before I start the video, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications if you have not already. Check down below in my description box for my Patreon account if you feel like I deserve some of your ducats, okay? And also, if you would just like to support me in any other type of way, all of the companies that I promote, including Omiage and Soapy Luv and my credit repair service, hit me up in my emails or my DMs on Instagram and Scentbird. And if you want to get it tonight, get you some sultrylim.com. Yes, get into all of that down below in my description box. So with no more further ado, let's get into it. Let's start with Paula and Russ, okay? And this is what I thought was gonna happen. Paula, boo, let me explain something to you. You cannot marry a man, move across the world for a man, okay? He lose his job, you hold him down, and you still want to have children with a man. All so that you could choose your gay best friend over him. That's what we don't do, bitch. We don't do that, okay? You got it fucked up, okay? First of all, wine is a disrespectful little fuck boy, okay? And you blaming Russ because he asked for wine to not start any shit and make this trip about you. You get mad at him and say he started it. I think that you're trying to tell yourself that and tell Russ that because you don't want to have to give Wine up because Wine is your friend and you've known him for so long. But Wine is thirsty. Wine wants way too much of your attention. Wine needs to find a man. He needs to find a life. He needs to do something, but he needs to get up out your relationship. And the fact that he doesn't respect your marriage shows in some way that he doesn't respect you. He wants you to be a young thought pocket, okay? He wants you to be tricking around being his little, Judy that he could go out with and get boys with and have fun with. But when you at home lonely and your eggs done dried up because you didn't waste your time fucking around with Wine instead of being with your husband trying to get this family popping, you're going to be sorry, okay? So they went to this dinner. Okay, like I said, Russ asked that they keep it cool. Hey, don't ruin this. And I kind of felt like he didn't have to say that, but I feel like he's been there with Wine enough times and Wine has said some nasty things to him, has been very disrespectful, unwarranted, okay? Just out of nowhere starts to say, oh, look, he's gained weight and, I have no respect for your relationship. At this point, I'm like, fuck Wine for Russ. And I feel like if Paula really does love Russ, she needs to give up this whole bullshit, bitch. That should be no choice. It should be a very easy choice. I will choose my husband over anybody. Please understand me. If you my friend and you think you're going to interfere with my relationship, with my marriage, I will cut you the fuck off, okay? Please believe me. So Paula, I know this might be hard for you because we have cultural differences, sis, but at the end of the day, a marriage is a marriage. And your best friend not having respect for your marriage means that you no longer need to be friends with his fuck ass, okay? Then, because she wouldn't really choose Russ, they both standing up with her in the middle and asking for her to choose, and she didn't want to choose, so Wine just walked off. So when her and Russ get up and walk away, she's trying to blame Russ. So now she's arguing with Russ, and Russ is like, man, no, fuck that. It didn't matter what I said. He was going to try to start some shit because that's how he is. He don't like me. He don't want you with me. And nothing I say or do is going to change that. And that's the real, okay? While they're having this argument, Wine and his little friend pull up on them and starts to get in Russ's face. And I think at this point, Russ is like, bro, I will fuck you up. Stop playing with me, okay? Paula pushes Russ in a car. She's so, in shock that they were really going to, punch each other's faces. I'm like, bitch, I don't know why you surprised. You let them get to this point. This is your fault. So the fact that you're trying to blame Russ is just a cop-out to me. And you need to grow the fuck up, okay? Like, in all honesty. Like, that's your husband. It should have been him from the beginning. As soon as you decided to marry him, like, you didn't already left your family and friends in Colombia to go live with this nigga. You didn't already made the choice. So why now are you backpedaling and pussy popping, making your husband feel less less than because you want to still be fucking around with old ignorant ass wine. Okay, I can tell you from looking at wine, wine is an asshole. They get back to the hotel still arguing about this shit, and she's trying to convince Russ that he needs to be okay with how much of an asshole wine is because she accepts him for who he is. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, okay? Russ married you, Paula. He did not marry wine. He does not have to deal with wine, okay? If you want to continue to be friends with wine, then you're going to have to lose your husband, bitch. Lose your children. Lose that future that you want to have with your husband because you're trying to stick around being friends with him. If your friendship with wine was so important, why didn't it help you stay your ass in Colombia, okay? Think about the time when he was in your life on a daily basis and you still felt like you needed something different. Now you have something different, and because him and your family are acting like, you know, some fucking childish brats, acting like, you know, they own you and you going to be with your husband means that somebody's controlling you. Your family and wine got it fucked up, Paula, and so do you. You chose to be with Russ. You chose to leave Colombia. You chose to marry Russ. So now you need to stand behind that as a woman and as his wife and support him and stop like down talking him and telling him how he needs to stop screaming and hollering. No, fuck that. Okay? Because in real life, if I'm ever having an argument with my husband between him choosing between me and a friend, I don't even know what I have to say. I'm not sleeping in the same bed with you that night, nigga. I'm rethinking our lives, okay? If you don't know who you gonna choose between me and your partner, okay? Paula, get your life. I felt so bad for Russ. Pull a baby, okay? You know, because I feel like Paula really does love Russ. They've been on this show for a long time together, and they've been through a lot. And I feel like when you constantly telling a man that you love him and you want him to be the father of your children, you need to act like that. And she not acting like Nicole. That. Every time we talk about Nicole, I just get so sad. That little girl is so depressing, okay? She's not even a real little girl. She grown, but she act like a little ass woman. Like, she act like a little girl. I feel like eventually that daughter gonna be raising her, okay? Think it's a game. May gonna be the one, Mom, did you pay the bill? Mom, what the fuck? Like, I feel so bad for me because I feel like there's no way that little girl is gonna grow up well adjusted with her mama being all out for self and all out for a man who don't even really show you that he loves you. Okay, so let's get into what happened. She goes to talk to her pastor, and she gets her pastor to talk to Azan, whatever his name is, because he finally picked up the phone because now he doesn't have issues with his cell service like he does every other time that she's trying to call his ass, okay? On the phone, the pastor wants to know, what do you expect from this marriage, okay? When they get him on the phone, because she never really answered the question, he basically says that he needs for Nicole to understand where they live. In Morocco, in this Muslim country, they cannot be kissing in public. And she, you know, doesn't understand that. And he needs for her to understand that before she comes out there. And the pastor makes a good point that why can't you just hold her hand so that she can feel still supported and that you're proud of her as your wife, instead of making her feel like you really don't want anybody to know that y'all are together when y'all out in public, and then you're blaming it on, you know, y'all being in a Muslim country. Like, that's kind of what it seems like. So how about you hold her hand and make her feel loved, you know? And he agrees to it, and the conversation seems to go well, and Nicole is all excited and shit. And this whole episode, she packing up that little raggedy ass one-room apartment so that she can take her and her damn child all the way to another country, leaving her job, leaving her apartment, leaving her family, all to go out there for this man. And I think she done lost her damn mind. So right in the middle of packing and doing her little interviews, she gets a phone call from a friend who tells her that they have a phone recording of Azan on the phone leaving messages for bitches, talking about how he missed them and he missed their kisses and the kisses was good. And she calls him and gets him on the phone, and she's crying and hysterical in the bathroom. Why are you doing this? Why would you do that? No, I need you to explain to me. Why would you do that to me? I'm coming out there to be with you. Why would you do this? And I'm just like, see, that's what I'm talking about. It shouldn't be all of this, okay? Let me tell y'all something. If you find out that your man cheating on you or doing something that sounds like he might be cheating on you right before you leave your job and your apartments and your family to go to another country to be with this man, you need not do that because he just showed you who he really is, okay? And I feel like Azan been showing Nicole who he is this whole time, but because she cheated on him one time, I didn't see that. Y'all need to tell me what season that was in. Okay, put it down below in the comments. I'll be looking for it. Because I'm going to watch it because I got the TLC app. Yes. Because they shit on demand be all out of order. I be all confused and shit. I'm like, I'd rather watch it on the app. I think they do that on purpose so you'll get exasperated and just go ahead and download their app. I see you TLC with your fuck shit anyway. Okay? Azan has been showing Nicole who he is. He don't really want you. He wants you to take care of him. And how you gonna take care of him when you move to his country and leave your job in your country? See what I'm saying? Okay? And from my understanding, she out here robbing Peter to pay Paul, piss poor, but still sending him thousands of dollars. Bitch, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I cannot deal, okay? Azan replies to her cries, her asking what's going on, why is this happening, what are you doing sending messages to other women, you should only be talking to me like that. No, my friends, we just play jokes. We leave messages like that as a joke. You know, it's not nothing, it's all bullshit. Azan, boy, only because this girl wants to be mind fucked. Because she's in this moment, I was like, oh, okay, so you see that something ain't right here. And then the whole episode where she goes to try on her wedding dress, she having panic attacks over and over again. And it's like you having panic attacks because you are making a frivolous decision with you and your child's life. You are putting y'all whole life in danger, girl, for this man who you cannot trust. For this man who is sending messages to bitches talking about it's a joke, talking about he won't kiss on them. Girl, okay? You sit in this bathroom crying, asking all the right questions, but not making the right decisions. That man is not for you, okay? You need to find you somebody in this country who is not going to keep taking money out of your pocket, knowing that you are a single mom and you are struggling your damn self. Anybody that will continue to use you like that don't really love you, and they don't really want to be with you. They just want to continue to use you. She packing her bags up, you know, getting in the car. Her mama trying to talk her out of it, but she not listening. She going to pay $200 to check all these bags in. She on the phone with Azan letting him know, and he's all pissed off because you taking the money out of his pocket, okay, by spending $200 on your luggage. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you still going to get on this plane and go marry this man when he is complaining about you spending your money on your luggage to go to marry him? Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Like, are you fucking kidding me? I just can't. I cannot with this Nicole Azan situation. It is just total bad shit crazy stuff. I don't even understand. Why couldn't you find somebody to mind fuck you on this continent? So at least he wouldn't be spending all this money in miles and passport and all of this type of shit. You doing way too much for some dick that ain't gonna be yours, okay? She's convinced she's gonna go and stay in, in his mom's house, and they're gonna be, open to her with they're going to be waiting for her with open arms, and she still got this wedding dress with all her titties and her back out in this Muslim country. Y'all, I just hope the cameras follow her to Morocco. That's all I got to say about it, okay? Nicole, girl, Lord, you need a brain. So let's get on Chantel and Pedro. Okay, Chantel and Pedro was still on this, mountain cabin trip with her parents. Her parents annoy me, okay? Even though I agree that her parents have every right to feel how they feel about Pedro because he doesn't seem like he's on the up and up. At least his family doesn't, the way they're constantly wanting and wanting and wanting, and he's always giving and giving and giving regardless to how much that causes him and Chantel to struggle. So I do feel like he doesn't understand what it really means to be married to somebody in the first damn place. But now, because of this situation with them wanting to investigate him and his mom, he's fucking over her people. He over her parents. And her daddy and her mama work on my nerves the most because they always trying to act like they didn't just insult the fuck out of you. Like, did we have a good trip? Did you guys have a nice trip? No, we didn't have a good trip, you assholes. No, we didn't have a good trip. Y'all been questioning and interrogating and calling the FBI since we got here. And now you expect for this man and your daughter to be cool? You expect them to have, oh yeah, we had a great time. No. Chantel's parents are like, I don't know what's wrong with them, but they're delusional. As much as they seem smart about the situation with Pedro, they're delusional about the way they handle him, as if he's some stupid person that can't understand that they're insulting him. Like, I'm just saying, okay? So because Pedro is feeling alone and all he got is his gym, he decides to get on the phone with his sister. And y'all know his sister called Chantel a stupid bitch the last time they saw each other in the DR when his mom was like, if you don't trust my son, just divorce him. Which I felt like showed that his mom really had no dog in his fight at the end of the day. Like, she didn't convince him to marry you so that y'all could get money. Mom was like, if you don't trust my son, divorce him. And then her sister was like, you know, stupid puta or whatever like that, thinking that she didn't understand what she was saying, and she clocked that shit, okay? Stupid ass, slut ass, whore ass, bitch ass trick. Like, I was like, Chantel went straight into it, boy. I don't like the little sister, and I really don't like the mama because I feel like they do take advantage of Pedro. And it's under the guise of it's our culture, and I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like sending things back to your family and supporting your family when they need you is one thing, but doing so regardless of how that might negatively affect the people that you're actually with in your own household, I think that that's some ignorant shit. I'm not really here for that at all, and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. So you can comment and talk about the differences in culture all you want to, but I think that in every culture, Pedro's mom and sister are taking advantage of him. And he feels like he should do these things because his mom took care of them and did everything she did to make sure that they had. But I kind of feel like good moms, great moms, do not make their children feel like they owe them anything because they took care of them. Because at the end of the day, mom, it was your decision to have children that you couldn't really be there for because you was working and going to school, leaving them at home by themselves, okay? But he decided that he was going to pay for his sister's plane ticket to come out to America to spend some time with him. He know Chantel going to be pissed off about this, okay? So when he tells Chantel, guess what? She's pissed off about this because you just spent more of y'all money on your sister. And she don't understand because you've been sending them money. So why couldn't they pay for the ticket? He offered to pay for the ticket. And I almost feel like he needs their approval. He needs them to be okay with him. He needs them to love him, regardless of how he is fucking over his wife. And she was like, you didn't even pay for my plane tickets when I was coming out there to see you. And he was like, you know, you were my girlfriend. And she's like, I was your fiance, bro. You knew we were getting married and you still didn't offer to pay for my ticket, but you're going to offer to pay for your sister's? I think that I don't even care if Pedro really loves Chantel. I don't think that they should be together. I think that Pedro need to take his ass back to the Dominican Republic and find him a woman in the Dominican Republic. I don't know why you came all the way to America so that you could be homesick and want to be with, you know, your sister and your mama and take care of them. If you want to be with them and take care of them, then be a single man or something. I don't know what the fuck you need to do because it does kind of seem like maybe you got married to Chantel just so it would be easier for you to come to America, but you in such a quick hurry to go back, you should have just stayed your ass there from the beginning and lived with your mama and your sister because it seemed like that's what you want to do anyway. I don't know, but I also feel like, Chantel, why did you feel the need to go and find a man in another country? You're a beautiful, well-educated young woman. You could have found somebody in this country who we didn't have to worry about if they was, you know, trying to marry you just to get in the country. Both of them seem young and immature, and this is going to end a divorce. Point blank, period. I just hope that nobody gets pregnant before the divorce happens. Y'all, let me say, y'all, Annie, don't wear no panties. Come on. I say, Annie, don't wear no panties. Ow. Come on with me. Say, Annie, don't wear no panties. If y'all don't know that Erykah Badu song, don't wear no panties. Ow. Come in with me. Say, yeah. Anyway, David and Annie, this episode, go to the zoo with his daughter Ashley, and you know him and his daughter Ashley do not have a good relationship because he was a deadbeat dad. So he's spending time with her boyfriend, and their children, and they having a good time, and Annie is off to the side being a bitter Betty bitch, not really being involved at all, not even when they get on the phone with his son, who y'all remember his son got shot in the face, but he's doing much better now, and he likes it where his mom is, and I feel like his mom should have put her foot down and took him from the beginning. Nah, you gonna be with me. If you don't have a relationship with your father, Skype that nigga. You coming with me. But you know, you gotta let your kids figure this shit out for themselves. He where he needs to be now. But Annie was not involved at all because she's mad because she feels like he promised me my own family and it's not happening. And I'm like, so what's the problem? Why, you know, if you want to have a baby with this man, why you ain't just get on top of the dick with no condom and have it out, you know? And that's when they sit down and have a conversation after they spend time with his daughter, and we discover that he had a vasectomy. Okay? He had a vasectomy. And the idea was that they were going to come to America and he was going to get a job, and then he was going to try to get the money to get the vasectomy reversed. Even if you do get it reversed, it doesn't always mean that it takes. You might still not be able to have children. I don't understand why a man would have a vasectomy, especially when he's single. You know what I mean? Like, why would you be in a rush to do that? But I think it's because he didn't want any more children. He realized that he didn't want children from the beginning, because it seems to me that he probably was never really hands-on in his children's lives. You know, kind of the way Ashley and the son come off, like they don't really have the same relationship with him as they probably have with their mother. And now Annie is starting to feel like he doesn't really want a baby with her. And I don't think he really does. I think that he was a trickster and was trying to say anything he could to get her to marry him and leave Thailand. And I think that Annie does not have time for this shit. I think Annie needs to divorce him, get her ass on a plane, and go back home and find her a man out there, okay? Or get back online and find you another man who didn't clip his dick, okay? Girl, I was just watching this shit, like, because at first I was like, damn, Annie, your attitude is nasty as shit. But then I come to understand that you promised her something that, once again, you can't really deliver. You cannot deliver any of this, David. You don't have a job. Y'all are living in poverty. You can't give her no children. And you done brought this woman over here and you still owe her people money. Fuck out of here with this shit, Annie. You need to do what I keep telling Ashley to do over there on Real Housewives of Potomac and move on like Maya. Getting with these old ass men who y'all think gonna take care of y'all, but they don't want to have no children with y'all because all they want is a trophy wife and somebody to rub their back, make them look good, and fuck them to sleep. Fuck out of here with that shit, Annie. Okay? You need a new man, Annie. Divorce David. I don't think you really love him like that anyway. I think that you liked him enough, you had fun with him, and if he could have given you the life you wanted, you could have absolutely been all for him. But because he is not going to give you that, I think you need to move on. I think you absolutely need to move on, Annie. David ain't gonna give it to you, boo. Okay? She said she's tired of talking to his ass. She don't want no more talk. Shout out the baby, okay? She don't want no more talk. Unless he can actually deliver anything, she ain't got no more talk. Oh, Molly. Molly is another one. Another sad, sap motherfucker if I ever seen one. Okay? And I'm going to tell y'all why I feel like that. Because last episode, it was brought to Molly's attention that Louise still looks at your children as if he's babysitting them. And he told your mama that he doesn't want to be a step parent, that he's in over his head. This is not really what he signed on for. He thought he was ready, but he wasn't. Her mama told her that. And she still is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Obviously, we're going to have a conversation. And I'm like, Molly, what is there to talk about? This man does not want to be a father. He does not want to be a stepfather. And he spent all the time since you came home locked in your guest bedroom, talking on the phone, posting pictures, acting like a single man, sucking up your air condition, sucking up your Wi-Fi, sucking up your energy, sucking up your water, eating up your food, drinking up your drinks, okay, eating your baby snacks and shit, locking himself in your house, and then getting mad when you standing outside the door asking for him to have a conversation with you on the phone, lying to his family members about you, okay? And then telling you to get your ass away from the door before he called the police, as if he can call the police on you while he is in your house. Oh, trust and believe in Georgia, if you call the police, them police gonna show up and take your ass to a detention center. They gonna act like you a illegal immigrant out this motherfucker. Okay, you are in the South, sir, and you may not know, but you are not in a place where you gonna be able to do this type of shit to that lady. Because I'm more than sure she lives somewhere where the police department gonna look at you and feel like you was trying to trick her. I mean, you was. And she's sitting up there talking about, I feel like he tricked me. I feel like he wasn't, who I thought he was. He acted like he wanted to be a father to my kids. And I just kind of feel like, bitch, I ain't never seen that. I think he may have thought he was getting something and he ended up getting something that he didn't want, all this responsibility with your children. And then your daughter left. And I kind of feel like if your daughter doesn't even want to live in a house with you and him, that is obviously a sign that this is not going to work. And you chose him over your child when you didn't kick his ass out when she left. I'm sorry, but if I felt like I couldn't trust you and you telling me that you babysitting my children, asking my daughter if she's sexually active, and she decides that she doesn't feel safe in this house enough to leave, then you need to leave, bruh. I cannot deal with people like Molly who put men before their children. And the fact that she's walking around her house driving herself crazy because this man locks her out of the room, turns on loud music, and walks around ignoring her in her own house. Girl, I would have broke down that fucking door and dragged him out my house by his hair, by the skin of his chinny chin out this bitch. I would have huffed and puffed and blew that motherfucking door down. There is no way in hell that I would allow somebody to live off of me, disrespect me, and then act like a sullen teenager and ignore me in my fucking house. Molly, you got the world fucked up. Luis would have got all his shit knocked out. All his shit knocked out. Okay? Then she unlocked the door and pushed the door open, and that's when, the episode went off, and it kind of made me feel like he was going to push that door on her because he had already closed the door in her face one time before. Let a nigga close the door in my face. Let me tell you something. Me and my husband split shit. And if he ever closed a door in my face like that, I'm probably going to knock that motherfucker down. Okay? Oh, Lord, I couldn't deal with Molly and Louise. I can't never deal with Molly and Louise. But I feel like Molly is another delusional one. Louise ain't never gave you no type of inklings that he was going to be a good man for you. That man ain't never act like what you needed him to be, girl. Never did he. All right? Delusional. All right, so lastly, y'all, Anfisa and George. I know as much as we don't want to like Anfisa because she's so disrespectful to George, I almost feel like she have every right to be disrespectful sometimes, okay? Because George goes around bad-mouthing her to his friends and his family, all right? This episode, she met up with one of his friends, Ramon, only because she snuck in his phone and saw that he was supposed to be linking up with him. And he was not about to tell her until she asked about it, right? So she kind of bullied him into letting her come with him so that she could meet his friend. Now, Ramon has also expressed that he thinks that George should leave Anfisa because all George has said about Anfisa is that she does nothing for him and he does everything for her, okay? Now look, the way Ramon had that white boy behind his ear the whole time, the way he kept looking back and forth between the two of them, I was like, this nigga is not right, but I'm about to enjoy this scene. He was hilarious, okay? He was nice to her. As much as he thought, it was going to be some glass throwing Cruella DeVille type shit, he was nice to her. She don't trust him because she's seen some of the things he said to George about her, saying that, George need to leave her alone. But he says that he's happy to meet her and he hopes that she and his wife can kind of get to know each other, because that's why his wife doesn't come out when they hang out because she says it's boring. So maybe they can all hang out together eventually. And it's all well and good. And he says, oh, let's toast to y'all getting back together. And this is when George is like, oh, we don't really drink. That's not our thing. And he's like, okay. And then they show us the video of the last time they was together and they was definitely drinking together. So George is a liar. George is a fucking liar. George has been a liar. And he's always trying to show Anfisa a certain side of himself while telling his family and his friends something else. And I feel like that's really fucked up because it's like you're bringing her here so that you can have her all to yourself, not so that you can actually bring her into your life as far as your family and your friends. So during their confessional, they're talking and the producer is asking George when was the last time he talked to his sister because Anfisa wants him to make it right between her and his family. So he gets on the phone and is calling his sister Lourdes and she's not answering the phone. And Anfisa thinks that Lourdes isn't answering the phone because she knows that they're back together and maybe Lourdes is like, I'm not dealing with him since he got back with her, right? So the producer is like, so when was the last time you talked to your sister? Is it when you went to the divorce lawyer? And And Fiza did not know that George went to a divorce lawyer. So now she's pissed off and storming off, and she thought they were in a better place. She starts to cry because she was like, I really thought we were getting better, and now I'm finding out that he's still lying about shit. Even in that moment, he was lying, trying to convince her that the producers were lying as if the shit isn't on videotape. I'm like, really? Really, dude? You just lie for lying's sake. Oh God. Oh God. This is like one of those situations where Fiza may be a young little bitch, but George is a lying asshole that lied to her to get her out here, just like David did. They are do-nothing ass men that trick these women into coming to America with the promise of a good life, and they can't supply that. Child, look. But that's everything that happened on 90 Day Fiancé. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Turn on your notifications. Care Bear, share, shake them tits, shake them tits, shake them tits. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next.